Good morning to learners. Factors affecting permeability. The coefficient of permeability is a measure of the ease with which water flows through permeable materials, and the velocity of flow through the permeability is given by Quasine-Karman equation. V is equal to 1 by Cs SS T square into gamma W by mu E cube by 1 plus E into I. So valid for coarse grained soils, and equation reflecting the influence of permeant and soil characteristics on K by Taylor is given using Poisson's law. That is V is equal to C into dE square gamma W by mu E cube by 1 plus E into. Equations assume interconnected voids are visualized as a number of capillary tubes through which water can flow. So both the equations assume interconnected voids are visualized as a number of capillary tubes through which water can flow. So factors affecting permeability. So this is the paths how flow takes place through the porous media, and this is the length L. Okay, tortuosity is defined as L1 by L. So what is the actual length taken? This is L1 divided by straight length, the straight line path, that is L. So if the parameters considered here is CS, the shape factor. So for granular soils, the shape factor approximately 2.5. SS, surface area per unit volume of solids. So what is the surface area per unit volume of solids? What is the surface area? T, tortuosity factor, that is this one. So it's equal to 1.41 for granular soils. So we can write it K as some capital K into gamma W by mu, where K is intrinsic permeability or absolute permeability. So you can define this capital K as intrinsic permeability or absolute permeability. Okay, that is equal to F. That is for soil skeleton, same value for particular soil. It will be same for particular soil. This capital K can be written as 1 by Cs SS T square into E cube by 1 plus E. The units of our K is, this capital K units is Darcy or cm square. So this K is having area units. This capital K is having area units, that is cm square. So 1 Darcy is equal to 0.987 cm square. So 1 Darcy is equal to 0.987 cm square. So list of factors affected permeability is the shape and size of soil particles. So the various factors which affect permeability are shape and size of soil particles, void ratio. So with increases, K increase with increase in void ratio. If E is more, K is also more. Degree of saturation. Degree of saturation. So K increase with increase of degree of saturation. Composite soil particles. So based on mineralogy. So soil structure, viscosity of the permeant, density and concentration of the permeant. So these two depends upon the fluid which is being flow into the soil. So this depends upon the permeant which is flowing through the soil or porous media. These two depends upon the porous media alone. So shape and size of particles, void ratio. So K increases with increase in void ratio. Degree of saturation increase with K increase with increase in degree of saturation. Composition of soil particles and mineralogy. soil structure, viscosity of the permeant, density and concentration of the permeant. So now you can see here K is proportional to E cube by 1 plus E, right? Here it is, of course, different equations given. Suppose proportional to E cube by 1 plus E square by 1 plus E, right? E square. So these are different equations you are having. So this solid line is this one, right? This is E square by 1 plus E, and E square is this one. This is for granular soils. And for saturated natural clay soils, if we plot with E versus log K, okay, then in this case is a straight line. Ck is the coefficient, Ck is equal to d by d log K. This is for saturated soils, approximate for S less than 100%. So factors is the effect of void ratio. You can see a relation between the permeability change index Ck and E naught for all clays tested. Ck and E naught initial void ratio, you can see here for all the clays tested. So based on E naught value, what is the value of Ck? Ck is equal to, here for this case it is 0.5 E naught. This is some soil data tested. This is 1 by 3 E naught. So this line is for half E naught. This line is for 1 by 3. That means it lies between these two lines. You can see for soil tested here. So this small point line between these two lines. Then effect of grain size. The permeability of granular soils depend mainly on cross-sectional areas of pore channels. Since the average diameter of the pores in a soil at a given pore increases in proportion to the average grain size. Therefore, the permeability of granular soils might be expected to increase as a square of the sum cast grain size. So, the permeability of granular soil shape depends upon mainly on cross-section area of the pore channels. Pore channels. Since the average diameter of the pores in a soil at a given porosity increase in proportion to the average grain size. So the permeability of granular soils might be expected to increase as the square of the sum category grain size. So if the grain size is D, so therefore K may increase for granular soils square of the proportional to grain size. That is K is proportional to D square. So you can see here, therefore you can write K is equal to some constant C into D10 square. So we call it D10 is the effective particle size of the particle. So D10 is selected because smaller particles control the size of pore channels. So smaller particles control the, because smaller particles will occupy the larger pores. Therefore, smaller particles will contribute to the size of the pores. So Hazen's empirical formula for predicting the K for clean sands. So class sands having less than 5% fines can be, for that K can be predicted based on this equation. Hazen's empirical formula. This is Hazen's empirical formula where K permeability coefficient K in meters per second will be equal to C into D10 square. And C is here 10 to the power of minus 2. And D10 is in millimeters. So here you K you get in terms of meters per second. C is 10 to the power of minus 2. D10 you have substituted in mm. That is important. This is the empirical formula. So C is a constant which includes effect of shape of the pore channels in the direction of flow. So C is a constant which includes the effect of shape of pore channels in the direction of flow, total volume of the force. So particle size in various specimens ranged from 0.074 to 25.4 mm. That is CU between 1.04 to 12. The effective grain size D5 would be a better choice compared to D10. That is something. after Kenny. And this is some research he has done. He's telling that we have tested with different CUs 1.04 to something 12, and he has tested for sands R greater than 80% relative density and Cu between 1 to 3, Cu6 and Cu12 tested. You can see this is the hydraulic conductivity K in meters per second. How it varies with respect to D5. It depends upon D5 size here, but we are taking D10. And effective degree of saturation, so K is proportional to degree of saturation. At low saturation, there will be reduction in flow channels available for flow. So when there is no sufficient, so this is the so K versus degree of saturation. As as degree of saturation increases, K also increases. This is given by after Das. So effect of soil structure. The permeability of soil deposit is significantly affected by its in-place structure. The soil structure affects the permeability of the soil deposit. A loose granular soil would have higher void ratio than a dense soil and therefore would permit greater flow. Therefore, the same soil, it is at a denser state, it will permit less flow. If it's a loose state, it will permit more flow. So a fine grained soil with flocculent structure will have higher permeability than soil with dispersed structure. So here once again this is important. Please remember this. A fine grained soil with flocculent structure will have higher permeability than soil with dispersed structure. That's only when doing compaction you have to remember. So usually we do compaction, not exactly at OMC because the moisture we add maybe it may be somewhat less than the field condition, it may be less than the OMC or it may be more than OMC. Therefore, if you compact the soil less than OMC, the soil tries to take the flocculent structure. And if you compact at the more than OMC, it's going to take dispersed structure. Therefore, if you are compact at dry of optimum, then soil is going to have flocculent structure, thereby increasing the permeability. And if similarly, if you are compacting at the wet of optimum, therefore it will have a dispersed structure and have less permeability. So if you are using compaction, then you have to be careful. If you want an application where permeability has to be controlled, then you have to compact the soil at wet of optimum. So a fine grained soil with flocculation will have higher permeability than soil with dispersed structure. Even at similar void ratios, a clay with an undisturbed flocculated structure possesses larger void openings than the same clay having a dispersed structure. The same clay having say similar void ratios, you can see here. This is a fabric flow parallel to orientation, flow perpendicular to orientation. So this is the flow parallel to orientation, flow perpendicular to orientation. Therefore, now you can see here the parallel case almost straight it is going, but in case of perpendicular case it is taking larger path. Therefore, K will be less. So flow through a clusters of particles of clay soil, flow mainly controlled by voids between flocks. So when you have flocks, this is the voids. Large voids are so controlled by flocks. The flock size is equal to F of particle size, shape plus environment. The flock size, what is the flock that is depends upon particle size plus shape, comma environment. For a marine elliptic clays, KH by KV is almost varies between 1 to 1.5. So this for a marine elliptic clays, so K horizontal to K vertical almost varies between 1 to 1.5. So the compactive effort, with an increase in compactive effort, K decreases. So if you increase the compactive effort, therefore voids decreases, therefore K decreases. Now you can see in the here also, so gamma D versus water content. So different compactive efforts. So what happens now? Density increases. This is standard Proctor test, a modified Proctor test. So this is the natural state. So therefore, so as you increase the compact effort, density increases, therefore void decreases, therefore K will be less. So variation of K with water content, dry density, importance of fabric. So dry of optimum, dense aggregates with large voids, high K, flocculated fabric. Wet of optimum, more uniform distribution of particles with small void, therefore low K, this is fabric. So at same gamma D, this is that same gamma D we are comparing. So this if it is this curve, this is the same gamma D. Means if you take the point here, okay, if you take this point and this point, then this is that flocculated state and this is dispersion state. Therefore, this state will have more permeability compared to this state. I have graph is shown here. Different is A and B. Log K versus W. This is W optimum. The variation of K with W1 water content gamma D. Minimum K for given compactive effort. So curve A is, if you draw the curve, see, at optimum you have minimum K for a given compactive effort. K will Wm, that is called optimum. At maximum gamma D, that is minimum E. So in the field, always use Wm greater than W optimum. So therefore, especially for clay barriers, therefore K will be, if you are using clay as a barrier, okay, fluid barrier, in that case we don't want to allow the fluid flow through it. In that case, we have to use water content more than OMC to get low value of K. This is a variation of K with W1 gamma D. Effect of soil type based on soil. The volume of water that can flow through a soil mass is related to more to the size of the voids openings than the number of or other total number of voids. Therefore, K for coarse grained soils will be more compared to K for fine grained soils. So see, one more thing here is, though E is more for fine grained soils. Generally, E value is more for fine grained soils. Even though E is more for, whereas void is more than for fine grained soils, but K is more for coarse grained soils. Even though void ratios are frequently greater than for fine grained soils. K for coarse grained soils is equal to function of particle size, gradation, particle shape, and roughness, and E of the soil medium. But for K for fine grained soils, depends on type of clay mineral and absorbed ions minus where particle surface forces predominate. The absorbed ions where particle forces predominate. So here type of clay mineral and absorbed ions. On this, the K value depends for fine grained soils. You can see effect of a flow through a pore channel in sandy soil. This is a flow channel. So this is the particle. This is a particle. Therefore, here it goes. This is sandy soil. The phenomenon of higher permeability of coarse-grained soil can be explained using concept of water flow through a conduit. So if you take the conduit, what happens here? This is diameter is large. Okay, this diameter is large. Therefore, here you will have more maximum velocity. And what's the minimum velocity? This variation in fluid flow attributed to this one. But what happens here? You will have more A is for, so what happens in maximum velocity, R stream free velocity will be maximum at the center. Therefore, more area is there. So higher velocity takes place. Therefore, high discharge takes place. But when you reduce the diameter, what happens now? This decreases. Effect of soil type. For fine-grained soils, when void spaces are very small, all lines of flow are physically close to the wall of conduit, and therefore only low velocity flow occurs. Now this is the case here. So when you have large diameter, small F4, you will have small maximum velocity. When you have a large one, you have large maximum velocity. Therefore here the flow will be more. So in case flow in already small channels is further hampered because some of the water in the voids is held or absorbed, and the clay particles reduce the flow area and further restrict the flow. Therefore, K of clays is very smaller than K of sands. Effect of permeate. The variation of gamma W with temperature is negligible. Of course, if the water is flowing, the variation of gamma W with temperature is negligible. Next, variation of mu with temperature is not negligible, but mu will not be negligible. Higher mu, low K. As mu increases, what happens now? So with the variation of temperature, mu increases. Therefore, for higher mu, you will have low value of K. Effect of surface area, K is proportional 1 by SS square. That is from Poisson-Karman equation. So higher SSA, you have higher surface area. That means for clays, you will have smaller particle, therefore higher surface area. They will have clay, less K. But for coarse grained particles, for gravels, you will have less SSA. Therefore, you will have high K. And you can classify the soils according to their coefficient of permeability. So degree of permeability K is, if you are writing K in meters per second, so for a high, if say degree of permeability is high, that means it is greater than 10 to the power minus 3 meters per second. Medium, minus 3 to minus 5 meters per second. Low, minus 5 to minus 7 meters per second. Very low, minus 7 to minus 3 meters per second. Practically impervious, less than 10 to the power minus 1 meter per second. These are values of K. So these are the factors affecting coefficient of permeability. So we have discussed the factors affecting coefficient of permeability. So these are the, so how shape and size of soil particles, void ratio, right? Degree of saturation. As void ratio increases, K also increases. Degree of saturation increases, K also increases. And also based on composition of soil particles. Once again, depends upon the type of soil, coarse grained soils and fine grained soils. Soil structure, viscosity of the permeate. So as the viscosity increases, permeability decreases. Viscosity decreases, permeability increases. Next, density and concentration of the permeate. So these are the factors affecting the permeability. So thank you very much for listening.